Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shouts out to the early birds, starting with Louis Wetzel. What's up, Louis? What it do? Alex, ALXL, Axel, something. California in the building. What's up, Oakland? Let's see, Jessica Olsen. Happy Friday. Tawana Sanders. What it do? Connie, I see you. What's up? Amazing Love is in the building. What it do? Be hollow. What up? What up, Joe Shalom? What it do? What's up, Robert Simmons? What's up? What's up, Salt Lake City? Mr. 48. All right, fam, I'm going in. I'll come back to the comments, but I'm going in. Yeah, fam, a lot happening right now. A lot happening. Man, we got a shooting near the White House. A National Guard member has lost his life. Another one is fighting for their life. Well, let me back up. Lost his life. Another is lost her life. Another is fighting for his life. We have a white man who pulled a gun on a brother in front of his house because, he didn't want him parking in front of his house, and he refused to move. So he pulled out a gun. Like, what up? So we got that going on. We also have Shedeur Sanders. It's something going on with Shedeur right now that maybe that's going under the radar. And I hate to do this, fam, but I gotta put this out there. I gotta say this. I am 100% behind Shedeur Sanders. Let me say that. But I got to speak on this. All right? So I'm going to speak on that. I'm going to speak on Shedeur in a moment. And then we have the president again, who is absolutely tripping. But let's start with the breaking news. Let's start with the breaking news. The shooter in Washington, D.C. So we got tragic news out of D.C. One of two National Guard members shot by Ramanoli Lackenwall near the White House on Wednesday has died. President Trump confirmed this on yesterday. Trump, in his first live remarks since the shooting, said Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, highly respected, young, magnificent person. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. Beckstrom was only 20 years old. The second Guard member, Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, 24, is still in critical condition and fighting for his life, according to Trump. The FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office, and the National Guard ID'd the shooter as 29-year-old Afghan national Lackenwall. Social media footage showed the gunman being taken away into custody on a D.C. street with two wounded National Guard members lying on the ground nearby. Let me let y'all check out a little of the footage of the National Guard members returning fire on the suspect. Really brief video, so I'll run it back. And then here's a video where they captured the suspect. Now, no word just yet of a motive. Let me put a pic up of this guy so that y'all can know who is the main subject. So, no word yet on a motive. But here's what we do know about Ramanullah Lakanwal. He is an Afghan national identified as the suspect in the November 2025 shooting of 2 National Guard members near the White House in Washington, D.C. One of the guards, U.S. Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, died from her injuries. Key details. Lakanwal is a 29-year-old Afghan national with a wife and 5 sons. A relative stated he served 10 years in the Afghan army, including working with U.S. Special Forces troops. Entry into the U.S. Oh, this is a good one right here because you know Trump is trying to get rid of all of the illegals. He's trying to get rid of them all. He wants everybody out of the country, any immigrants trying to come here except the white ones. He wants them out. Lakanwal entered the U.S. in September 2021 under humanitarian parole during Operation Allies Welcome. Operation Allies Welcome, and was granted asylum in April 2025. So the boy got on the fast track to citizenship. On November 26, 2025, Lakanwal allegedly shot 2 National Guard members near the White House. He was shot and taken into custody during the confrontation. Lakanwal is hospitalized and reportedly not cooperating with the investigation. Authorities believes he acted alone in a targeted ambush, and the FBI is investigating it as possible act of international terrorism. So the aftermath is that the shooting has raised questions about the vetting of Afghan refugees and led to a halt in processing immigration requests for Afghan nationals pending a security review. And that brings us actually to Donald Trump's comments to the reporter that he totally disrespected. And we'll get to that in a moment. But I wanted to share some more details about the shooter. This guy allegedly was having some psychotic moments, so he allegedly had been tripping. He thought that he was on the pathway for deportation. They thought he thought that the U.S. was trying to deport him. So he was experiencing paranoia, according to family members. He was experiencing paranoia, and he thought that there was a chance that he might be deported. What I'm not understanding is, why would you go out like that if you think that you're going to be deported? So now, so you decide to take a gun and start shooting people, right? Now you are guaranteed to be deported. You have removed all doubt that you're going to be deported. Not only are you going to be deported, but you are done with your privilege and obligations of raising your own children. Now another man is going to be walking through your house in his drawers, scratching his balls, knocking your wife down, telling your boys what to do. This, in my opinion, family, is madness. Now, I know some of these people, that come from these foreign countries, they got that kamikaze mentality. And, if it's for the right cause, they'll go out. They'll just kiss everybody goodbye, and they want to die a martyr. They're ready to go out for the cause. But this appears to be an act of a lone wolf, a targeted attack, but an act of a lone wolf. This doesn't seem like it was for a cause, but just because. I can't imagine inflicting self-harm on myself to separate me from my children in this wild, crazy, beautiful world. There are too many uncivilized mutts that roam the earth. And the United States in particular has a high concentration of uncivilized mutts. Yeah, that's right, I said it. And this is my country. But we have a high concentration of uncivilized mutts. This is why we are so paranoid. Anybody can easily say, I love my country. And it's even easier to say that if you've never been anywhere else. If you don't know what it's like to live in a country where you really don't have to lock your doors at night. You don't have to let your windows down. You don't have to lock your windows. You don't have to have alarms on your house. You don't have to have an alarm on your car. If you've never lived that life before, I encourage you to put that on your bucket list. Because moving outside of the United States and living in a foreign country, in multiple foreign countries, was one of the best things I ever did for myself. It opened my mind. Woo, it blew my mind. To be able to hear news reports that was not just about Democrats and Republicans, that was not about trying to further taint the image of Black folks, where they try to control the narrative and make Black people look bad. Oh man, you need to watch some of that. You need to watch some of that kind of news. To watch television shows where it was either just about pure, wholesome humor, or it was about family. Could have been entertaining, it could have been dramatic or whatever, but they didn't have the cesspool of entertainment like it is here, where anything goes and everybody and anything is disrespected. Women walking the street at 2:00 in the morning, 4:00 in the morning, fully dressed. Maybe they had been out somewhere at a party, but high heel shoes, fully dressed, just walking. and nobody is stalking. Nobody is trying to RAP her. Nobody's trying to kidnap her, murder her. You know, you got to find yourself in one of those countries and try to do it for at least, 6 months to a year, just to see that you got options and just to be able to feel that type of energy. It's something different, man. But if all you know is the United States, you ain't really giving yourself a real chance of experiencing life to its fullest. So this guy, Lackenwall, he entered the United States in September 2021 through Operation Allies Welcome, the program that resettles Afghans after U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. So this guy is a guy who came through the system. Now, you let Trump and his administration tell it, this guy somehow slipped through the cracks, even though he was fully vetted. And but now you hear him saying, "Hey, well, he wasn't really vetted." You know what I'm saying? The Biden administration is responsible for this, and Okay, let's say the Biden administration was responsible for it. Since Trump is the what do you call it? The law and order president, and he's been going back, fixing everything and straightening stuff out and making things run efficiently or proficiently, depending on how you feel. How come he didn't go back and look at those Afghans and make sure that they were all on the up and up, make sure that they're all of their paperwork, make sure that they did a thorough psychological evaluation on this guy? How come they didn't do that? Lackenwall had been living in Bellingham, Washington state before driving across the country to DC. So this guy drove across the country, clean across the country, to go commit this crime. Other guards in the area subdued Lackenwall. After he was shot 4 times during the confrontation, he was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. I always find that interesting, how they can take real killers in alive. I mean, people who actually got a gun, they got a gun because they shoot. They're killing. I always find that fascinating, how they can actually, I find it fascinating how they can make these type of guys still be alive after everything go down. Like, oftentimes, people get killed, especially Black people get killed because the police thought he had a gun, thought they was reaching for a gun, thought they had a weapon, thought, and people get killed. They ain't seen no weapon or nothing, but they just thought. They ain't killed nobody. Now they know they ain't killed nobody. But somehow, some way, an innocent person who's unarmed gets murdered by the police. But here's a guy who was busting at the police. Bing, boom, boom, boom. I don't know what he was using, but it sounded like he would have been using something heavy. Some of that. Sound like he would have used something heavy, right? I'm trying to figure out, how do you take this guy in alive? I'm surprised they shot him 4 times. I'm surprised they shot him at all. Usually they let them, if they're not Black, they can, okay. I give. Come on, go on, arrest me. I ran out of bullets. Okay, I'm coming out. It just amazes me how they can switch code. It amazes me how they do that. If anybody deserved to die from the bullets of a cop, it was this guy. He not only killed, but he killed one of their own. You know how they get when you kill one of their own, because, one of their own blood is more important than our blood, right? One of their own's life is more important than our lives. So when it's one of their own, they get really, really mad and they get tough, and they go, they start crying and stuff. Sometimes you never even know they had the ability to cry or show empathy. They just be crying and all that stuff. They be lining up the streets, all at the hospital. But when it's a citizen, the people that they're supposed to respect and protect, they just, they stand around the body laughing, cracking jokes and stuff. It's not even a big deal at all. I've seen them do it more than once. I've seen the police stand around and laughing and eating. Even caught him eating donuts once. Like literally, I know that's a stereotype, but it's an earned stereotype. I saw him eating donuts once over a dead body, like it was nothing. Imagine if they treated the citizens like that. The way I think, the way my mind is wired, the way my brain is wired, I think that if I'm tasked with protecting the citizens of my community and I lose a citizen, I'm going to take that personal. That's personal to me because that was what I signed up to do. I signed up to serve and protect my community. So if I lose a member of my community, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be doubting myself. I'm not going to sleep well. I'm damn sure I ain't going to be standing around cracking jokes and eating donuts or anything. I'll take that personal, man. I take any job personal, first of all. But a job where I'm tasked with protecting a human life, I would take that personal. I would take it personal if somebody in my community was being bullied by somebody else in the community, whether it's a neighbor or a gang member or even a cop. I would take that personal. Like, no, we ain't having that shit. Not on my watch. We not doing that. Not on my watch. So now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Donald Trump, your president. Whoo, man, this guy right here. This guy. Family. I just don't know what to say about this guy. I don't know what to say about this guy. Donald Trump, your president. Family. This guy, he just don't have any class. There is no way possible someone so unrefined should find themselves leading any country. There's no way possible someone so uncouth should find themselves in the Oval Office as the commander-in-chief. There is no way possible someone so rude should find themselves in the position of being called Mr. President. You know, leadership starts at the top and it trickles down. This is why, for the first time in your life, in the history of the United States. We're not only hearing a president who is ghetto to the bone, who is uncouth to the bone, who is trailer trash to the bone. We're hearing the people under him parrot his behavior. They're even cussing and stuff when they do interviews. They're cussing. They're telling people, they're telling mama jokes. Yeah. This is happening in 2025 in the United States of America. Family, you got to check this dude out.
Along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in.
He's trying to wiggle his way out of it. Oftentimes, when you're having a conversation with somebody and they result to name calling, it's because they don't have a better argument. It's because they can't win the argument. It's because they're trying to hide something. So they go like, like, remember back in the day, they had that song, "Oh, your mama." You can't think of nothing else, just say, "Yo, mama." That'll get, that'll shut it down. Your mama. It's like a lot of racist people who reserve the use of the N-word, to try to get under somebody's black skin. If they don't have nothing else to say, they just say, they say the N-word because they can't win the argument, right? They don't know how to articulate themselves without resulting to name calling. So they just, yeah. So Trump do not like being questioned. The reporter asked him a fair question. Hey, what about these guys? They say this guy was not vetted properly. What are you, stupid? He came in with the Biden administration. Why not just answer? Just if that's what you believe, why not just say, hey, man, the Biden administration let him in. It wasn't something that I did, and woo. Why not just say that? Because he don't know. Because he got caught with his pants down. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Again, the reporter had the right questions and he had no answers. So he resulted to name calling. I've never heard a president in my life remotely say 1%, 0.5% of the things that he said. His behavior is so important. It's so uncivilized, and he does it so frequently. We're not even surprised when he says certain things anymore. We're not even shocked. We're not surprised. It's like it's gotten that bad where the president of the United States consistently used cuss words while having pressers. And we just keep on moving. A lot of us just keep on moving like nothing was ever said. Y'all think he's going to go to the funeral of the woman who got killed, the National Guard member who got killed? Y'all think he's going to go to the funeral? Well, according to him, He might go, he might not. Yeah, his words, not mine. He said he might go, might not. Like, haven't been asked. I saw where people were like getting at him, like, man, what you mean you don't know if you're gonna go? This is a National Guard member. This is one of your service members who died in the line of duty protecting you. What do you mean you're not gonna go to the funeral? That shouldn't even be a question, but it is to him. Like, huh? What you mean, man? I ain't even. And he said, I haven't even thought about it. He said, I hadn't thought about going. But he said, I hadn't thought about going. That's madness. You haven't. So you mean to tell me a service member loses her life in the line of duty, trying to protect you, and you won't even go to the funeral? You won't even attend the funeral? That's madness. And let me say, man, before I go on, family, condolences to Sarah Beckstrom's family. Condolences to her family. May she rest in peace. But this is madness to me, family. This is madness to me that he would say something like that. Even if he was thinking it, that ain't something you say, man. I hadn't even thought about it. That's madness. Yeah, prayers to that woman's family and everybody that knew her. You got people that saying MAGA killed her, the police in the Capitol, all of that type of stuff. They say MAGA killed more troops at the Capitol. That's true. That's true. At least 4 or 5 cops were killed during the insurrection. Which leads me to believe Donald Trump really don't care about those police officers and service members like he say he do. As long as they're serving him, he care about that. But beyond that, he doesn't really care about those people like that. Yeah. If Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth hadn't declared war on the American people, hadn't declared war on American cities, Sarah Beckstrom might be at home celebrating Thanksgiving with her family. Y'all ever thought about that? So you had your warning. All y'all out there that went out there and Trump, you had your warning. You had your warning. Some of y'all, I'm sure some of y'all are in the comments right now riding for Trump. Y'all stupid. Yeah, you remember your leader just called somebody stupid, so you shouldn't be offended by me using the word stupid. You're stupid. If you went your ass out there and voted for Trump and you see what's going on right now, let me just, okay, I'll give you the benefit of doubt. I'll just, well, I'm only pretending though. I'll give you the benefit of doubt that before you voted for him, you just didn't know he was that bad, right? You didn't know he was going to mess up the country like this, right? You just had no idea. But now that you know, now you know, and you still riding for him, you know what that tells me? You don't really care about this country like you say you do. No, you don't. You don't really care about this country. You don't really care about your fellow Americans like you say you do. You like money and you like privilege. And you think you're going to get some of that. You either thought you was going to get some money or some privilege or both. And that's why you riding with Trump. That's why. That's why. That is the only reason why. You don't care about crime prevention. You don't care about Americans having health care, people having employment. You care nothing about the homeless population finding shelter. You care nothing about people being hungry. You don't care nothing about none of that. You're even willing, you might even be broke your damn self. You might be poor your damn self. And you're willing to pay those high prices. You don't really want to, but you'd rather pay high prices for food and fuel and the car and shelter. You'd rather pay high prices and watch people get murdered than to lose a little of that privilege that you think you got because of your skin color. And those of you who are Black, who riding, who still riding, your favorite part about Trump is that you wish you was white. You wish you was white. You wish you could assimilate. You wish they would just treat you totally different than they treat other Blacks. You really, really want to be white. You wish. It ain't gonna happen. It'll never happen. Yeah. It must hurt. It must hurt to be something, to want to be something you can never be. It must really hurts. You know what I'm saying? That's got to hurt. I'm not saying like want to be a basketball star, be able to dunk and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, because that's something you can get over. I'm talking about waking up every day wishing and wanting to, trying to assimilate, wishing that you was a different skin tone. Ooh, I like it. I wish I could see I wish there was some type of way that they could transport the energy where I could read it out, where your energy could be transported some type of way, or transcribed. Your energy could be transcribed, and I could read it and see, ooh, this hurt him. It really hurts her. It hurts her, and she can't do nothing about it. Absolutely crazy, fam. That's madness. Yeah, man. Absolutely madness. I wonder if dude was MAGA. I'm pretty sure he was a Trump supporter. I'm pretty sure he was a Trump supporter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's an illegal Afghan national killed her. The Afghan national was not illegal. He was here legally. Yeah, he took the correct path to citizenship. Trump vetted him, gave him asylum. Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened. So I don't know where do we go from here as a society when our president speaks to reporters the way he did. You can see the other reporters standing around. They're scared to death. They're scared to ask him a question. Salute to the reporters out there who still got some balls. And it seemed like the women got more balls than the men, because the men, I haven't really seen the men really interact with him, really ask him any hard-nosed questions. It's the women who have been speaking out. It's the women. And it's the women that have drawn his greatest ire. Trump do not like women. I believe that Trump looks at women as an object, as objects. You know, he'll serve me, get on your knees, eat me up, and get out of here now. I'm tired. Let me go watch some football. Yeah, I don't believe he has any real respect at all for women, especially the way he was talking. Like when remember now, this same guy who said, grab him by the you know what. But I don't believe that a lot of women have respect for themselves either. Because remember, at least half of white women voted for him. At least. So I don't believe that many of those women have respect for themselves. Knowing that this man been accused of dozens of times for essaying women, knowing that he was found liable in an essay case, knowing that he had that recording out there where he admitted to grabbing him by the you know what. These are the same women who get shook when a man touch them or say something that they deem to be inappropriate. But they went out there and for Trump, I don't believe you and I don't trust you. Yeah, I do not believe you. I do not trust you. Family, we got a man, a white man, who pulled up in front of a black man's house and refused to move just because he didn't feel like moving. Yeah. So this confrontation, man, it went left really, really fast. So in a video uploaded to Instagram on October 11th, the black man referred to as a NIGG, you know what, had a gun pulled on him. All for asking his neighbor to move his car from in front of his house. Move your car from in front of my house. And Buddy lost his mind. Check it out.
Look at him, y'all. He pulled his gun out of me. I ain't threatened. What'd I say? What'd I say to threaten you?
You were thinking of my phone.
You were in my... Help! Help! He got a firearm on me. Help! Help! What'd I say to threaten you? Help! He got a gun on me. Help! Help! I ain't threatened shit. You feel me? I didn't threaten anything, ma'am. He hopped out his truck and got to talking to me because I told him earlier his brother to move his truck from in front of my house. I said, I have to explain to you why I want your truck from in front of my house.
You don't need a gun.
Ma'am, should I have to explain to him why I want his truck from in front of my house? He's talking about his public property. Man, you better get your ass on. I ain't threatening shit. You putting your gun out on me and shit. Then he just called me a nigga and shit. Say what you said again. Say what you said. Say it again.
You got two
say the word you said again.
My face after
say
everything.
Say the word you said again. Say it again.
You are dash cam after you
say it
got
again.
my face.
What you just say?
You call me a fucking...
I'm on dash cam. I'm walking, bro, going to the park.
After you got
I told your fucking brother to move his truck from in front of my house. I shouldn't have to explain.
Public property.
Ma'am. Ma'am, should I have to explain to him why I want his truck moving in front of my house?
No.
My point exactly.
The roads are public.
But, hey, I had some stuff coming.
Okay.
That's what she don't get. I had some stuff coming.
I get it.
You don't understand. I had shit coming. She want to tell me I some shit. You feel me? Going on with all that racist shit, man. And then you walking up on me with a gun. Where you going, go? You calling me niggers and shit?
I will be close
Come on,
to
man.
any motherfucker.
Come on, say it again. I dare you. Say it again. Say it again. I bet you won't say it again. Say it again.
You act like a nigger, you're gonna be a dinger.
You hear him? Oh my
if
God!
You act like a nigger,
man.
just like you're.
You hear this man? I'm going to the park, man.
I wasn't here, but that was uncalled.
Hey, now you hear him? You hear him, ma'am? Hey, I will have you out of here. Hey, ma'am,
come on now.
Ma'am. Right, she got mixed kids, and you sitting there calling me a nigger? Huh? I'm a nigger. That's what I am.
You call shit down there.
Man, I walked down there and told you, hey,
look,
listen to him.
Take it down for a minute. You got on my fucking brother down
I ain't
there when I was fucking
shit.
sleeping.
Oh, my mama ain't get on my dead mama grave. I
street.
came down there and told him, can you move? Because he in front of my mailbox. I got shit coming. I had something coming, ma'am. You can't park in front of, if I told you to move, I don't have to explain. That's just like me coming to hang in front of your house. What you gonna say? Can you move from in front of my house, ain't you?
Yeah.
Is you gonna let me hang in front of your house?
No.
Yeah,
My
but
point
that's
exactly.
not how it happens.
Man, like
though.
I said.
That's not how it
like
happens.
I said.
That's not
now you.
how.
Whoo-wee, man. Boy, that's a lot. That is a lot to unpack. All right, fam, who y'all think was wrong? I mean, I don't know, fam. I think I know, but, maybe, I'm out of pocket, Who do y'all think was wrong in regards to this? Who was wrong? Who was wrong? Who do y'all think was wrong? Give me a thumbs up if you think the guy parking the truck was wrong. Give me 2 thumbs up if you think the guy who recorded him, who lived in the house that the truck was in front of, is wrong. 1 thumbs up for the guy with the gun. 2 thumbs up if you think the owner of the house was wrong. So I see Nikki says up. Nikki is up. Marsha Log is up. Jack and Medias don't have anything. Amazing Love up. GG Cakes up. Is that Marlon Thomas up? Repping the shot. See the video. Eric G. Jones up. Nina up. Demetrius Russo up. DJ up. Chucky Chuck up. JC up. Emmanuel, 2 ups. Carl Reynolds up. Mr. O Filler, Mr. No Filler up. Angel Gomez up. Yellow Roses up. John Robinson up. Mook Dog M. Dog'em? Mook Dog'em. Damn, Mook. You gonna dog him? Who you dogging? Okay. So Zerny Holloway up. The Immortal One up. Okay, so most of y'all believe that this guy right here on the screen is wrong. So I'll give you my thoughts on this, fam. I'm gonna make it easy for you. I'm not gonna drag it out. He was wrong, in my opinion. He was wrong. But I will say this: it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And I do not know how dude walked out and asked him to move his truck. The truck is parked on a public street. So that means anybody can park on that street. As long as he's not blocking dude's driveway, he's good, right? So when you're dealing with neighbors, and I don't know if this dude is a neighbor or not, but when you pulling up at somebody's house, if somebody pulls up in front of your house, and let's say you're expecting a delivery, which is really the only time you should tell somebody to move their vehicle from in front of your house, because you don't have a right to make somebody move a vehicle from in front of your house. Or, if you got something going on, maybe the kids playing in the streets or whatever, y'all gonna put a basketball goal out there, something right there, something like that, some neighborhood activities going on. I get it. But other than that, you don't really have a right to tell somebody to move their car from a public street, even if it is in front of your house. However, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you walk outside the door, hey man, excuse me, hey, can you move? I'm expecting a delivery soon. Can you move your vehicle? Now, in the back of your mind, you might be saying, who is this? I can't. Here we go again with this. That might be going through your head, but you got to think about the outcome that you want. Whatever outcome that you want, your actions have to be consistent with the outcome that you want, right? So if you want the outcome to be confrontational, you want it to be a standoff, then you go out there and say, man, move that shit out the way, man. What the hell are you doing? Say, well, you know what I'm saying? You go off, right? But if you want this guy to just simply move his car and so you can continue your life, you just go out there and swallow your pride. That's if you are feeling a little certain way about it. And just go out there and be like, hey, man, excuse me, I got a delivery coming. You mind if you move your car, so I can, so that the delivery truck can park right there. In most cases, almost any case, somebody's going, even if you're dealing with somebody like an uncivilized mutt, they'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Boom, they got out of the way. Especially when somebody is in front of your house, right? Most time, most people will try to, respect that. Having said that, the fact that this dude called him the N-word, he pulled the gun out and called him the N-word, I really don't have no love for this uncivilized mutt. I don't have no love for him, no respect for this uncivilized mutt. Because if he did all of that over a request to move his truck, imagine what he's done in the past. Imagine. He got that gun because he know otherwise he'll get his ass scraped off the concrete. He know that. That's why he got the gun. I would feel less of a man if I thought I had to get a gun to resolve all of my issues. Every time I have a little issue, any little spite, any little spat, I got to pull out a gun. Any little disagreement. Look, I'm a hoe ass nigga. That's why I got this gun. That's what they should be saying. That's what they should be saying. Because we know what that, you know that type of dude. We've all been around those type of dudes. We know those type of dudes, right? And he got a truck. Hey fam, a lot of times these guys, these little dudes with the big trucks, man, they have Napoleon syndrome. Little dude with a big truck. Yeah, fam. So this guy, he was out of pocket, totally out of pocket. I get it. Even if the dude came out and talked to him sideways, say, man, move it. Can you move it? Say, man, hey, move your truck. Even if he just came out and moved your truck. Maybe you got a question. You got a question. Hey, man. A lot of times it's easier to just be like, is there a reason? Is there a reason I need to move the truck? Yeah, because I said, okay, all right, get in, move it. You don't like how he said it or whatever, but hey, man, yeah, I ain't no used to having to down this dude and end up in jail, or having this dude down me and end up in the morgue. Ain't no use to, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, ain't no use to, somebody going to jail and me going to jail, paying all this money for, over a little small disagreements, something that I ain't gonna even matter, in a few hours. It ain't gonna have no impact on my life whatsoever. Man, let that shit just, and that comes with maturity, because I ain't always been this smooth. That comes with maturity. But this dude, yeah. So what happens if the homeowner has a gun also, and he pulled that gun out? See, he knew what he was going to do, but he didn't know what the homeowner was going to do. So what if he had pulled that gun out? Because usually people who pull guns, oftentimes, they think the other person ain't got nothing. They think, just like when somebody do a home invasion, they don't anticipate, not walking out of that door. They just know what they're going to do. The last thing they're thinking is, I'm going to kick this door in. I'm going to run through this house. And out of nowhere, I'm going to be met with gunfire. And I'm going to be overtaken by that gunfire. And I'm going to hit the ground and collapse and die right here in this stranger's house. I'm going to die. So before that happens, let me call my girl right quick and let her know Dad ain't coming home. Let me call my kids and let them know Dad ain't coming home. I'm finna get killed because I'm finna go with my friends and we finna go up in here and run up in this house and try to take something. So I'm gonna get killed. So I love y'all. Daddy love you. I'll talk to you later. That's how that go. So this dude is out of pocket. Now, when it comes to these deliveries, I got some experience with this because I've had a situation like that where the neighbors actually blocked the neighbor's delivery guys actually blocked the entry to my driveway before. They blocked it. And you know, when you're on the move, man, you ain't got time. You don't want to be telling people, hey, can you move and all that. You're on the move. You ain't got time to be held up. And so any little inconvenience could run you hot. It could set you off. So I have to be reminded that sometimes I have deliveries and I might be blocking my neighbors from getting out, coming out of the house or whatever, or just, being able to park their car or something like that. So I have to learn how to extend grace. All of us have neighbors and we all have to remember to extend grace. Maybe you ain't the neighbor that plays the loud music, but you're the neighbor that didn't cut your grass. You're the neighbor that cut your grass every 4 weeks instead of every other week. And it's an eyesore. Maybe you don't keep your shrubs clean. Maybe you got some peeling on paint on the side of your house. And, that's an eyesore in the neighborhood. Maybe you park too close to the lines if you live in an apartment complex. Maybe you park too close to the parking lines and people can barely get out of their car. A lot of us, ain't none of us perfect. So we oftentimes get in each other's way. And we have to learn to extend grace. Same thing with people out here with this road rage. Road rage is one of the most dangerous things that you can get involved with because you have no idea who you're dealing with. You don't know what's going through somebody's head. You don't know what they just experienced. You don't know if they just experienced a breakup and they're already thinking about ending it all. You don't know if they've been getting bullied for the last 5 years, 20 years of their life, and they're saying the next time somebody try to bully me, I'm gonna give them the business. You don't know. You don't know who you're dealing with. So you know what you're gonna do. Yeah, man, next time boo, boo, boo. You don't even think about it. You just react. Somebody do something, cut you off, you just automatic. You don't think. You don't do no thinking. You just boo. Next thing you know, they and you and they pow, pow, pow. You're a tough guy, but your little 2-year-old son ain't so tough who's in the back seat. He ain't so tough. Your 2-year-old son got a bullet in the head. Just like that. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So you got to always be thinking about what's the worst thing that could happen if I do this? What is the worst thing that could happen? He wasn't thinking about the worst thing that could happen. And I don't know exactly what the other dude did, the homeowner did. I don't know what was said before he started recording. But he also didn't know what that dude was capable of doing. You have to assume, right now we're in the Wild Wild West, fam. This is America. Everybody got a gun. And you got to assume that when a person comes at you aggressively, they're probably prepared to take your life. They're probably prepared. Especially if it's a little bitty person or something, you know, somebody you look like, little old mother, I'll whoop you, you know, somebody like that. And they just barking, you know, you should probably assume that they're probably ready. You should assume everybody is ready. Don't take anybody for granted. Take all threats seriously. Don't take anybody for granted. And if you got to handle your business, but make sure you come out on top. Because the name of the game is to play to stay. Play to stay alive, play to stay free. Play to stay alive, play to stay free. That's the name of the game. And a lot of us, we don't consider that. We don't think about that because we just get caught up in the moment. You know, whole lot of people on the internet right now talk a lot of shit. Boy, they be running that mouth. Woo, boy, they be talking tough. Ain't got no history of really being tough. Ain't got no record of being a tough guy. No record of being respected. None of that. They ain't even got a record like that. But they're banking on distance and time to keep the people that they run their mouth about at bay, to keep them off of them. They're banking on distance and time. But what's going to happen is the distance is going to get closed. And eventually the distance will be closed and time will run out. And they're going to get everything they've been looking for. Boy, this internet did it, man. Did it. But back to this guy right here. Yeah. Totally out of pocket. If the homeowner had it on him and he pulled that gun, that homeowner would have been well within his rights once he pulled that gun on him, to put it on him. He would have been well within his rights. You better know before you pull that thing out when to pull it out. Because you should never, ever, ever pull it out unless you are prepared to do what you got to do. And you absolutely should never aim it at anybody. You should never aim a gun at anything that you're not willing to destroy. So I wanted to bring something to y'all attention. I want to bring something to your attention. Shedeur Sanders. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Shout out to Dion, the whole Sanders family, class act. So Dion recently won his first game as a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He did something that hadn't been done in several years, and that's Cleveland Browns starting a rookie quarterback, and that rookie quarterback winning his first game as a starter. So that's a big deal. And so now that Dion has had his opportunity to shine, he's even under more scrutiny. Recently, ESPN caught some backlash because of their over coverage of Dion and a lot of the negative things that some of their commentators has said about Dion, about Shedeur, not Dion, but Shedeur. Let me just say first and foremost, fam, that I think that Shedeur Sanders is an outstanding young man. I think he's an outstanding young man. I think that most parents would be proud to have a son like Shedeur Sanders. You know, all the boy do is get it done. all he do is grind. All he do is work, put the work in. So people have been talking about Kevin Stefanski, his coach, sabotaging his time with the Cleveland Browns. People have been saying that this guy is against Shedeur, and Shedeur shouldn't trust this guy. He's bad news. Bad news. Well, I'm gonna just read. I want to read something to you really quickly. This is an article that I found in Yahoo. Shedeur Sanders disarms Kevin Stefanski sabotaging narrative. Browns quarterback says Donald Trump has been long time supporter. Maybe you can see where I'm going with this. So it says, and I'm going to skip through this. I'm just going to just catch some excerpts so that we can get down to the nitty gritty. Shedeur Sanders didn't see the field until week 11 of his rookie season. He didn't make his first NFL start until week 12. A contingent of the quarterback's fans have theorized that Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski was conspiring against Shedeur this season, as the Browns first started a 40-year-old Joe Flacco before turning to third-round pick Dylan Gabriel in week 5. Sanders, a fifth-round selection who led the Browns to victory this past weekend against the Las Vegas Raiders, while Gabriel was in concussion protocol, faced the question Wednesday about those Stefanski sabotaging allegations. All your reporters out there say that Kevin Stefanski was sabotaging you, a reporter said. So you just want to start trouble, huh? Sanders responded at the podium. The reporter answered, "No, I want to ask you about your relationship with him, what it is." Notably, 2 days earlier, Stefanski named Sanders the Browns' starter for this week's game against the San Francisco 49ers, despite Gabriel being cleared to play. "What people do outside the building isn't really in my control," Sanders said. "It's not in my power. So I don't, you act like I go out there and tell them to do whatever. That's not nothing I can control, nothing I can do. Overall, I'm just happy to be here. Coach Stefanski has been coaching since I got here, and he's been doing a great job with everything that's going on." Taking the high road, the reporter followed up asking Sanders his relationship with Stefanski when they're away from the cameras. "Definitely like a coach," Sanders said. "He tells me what I need to do, and on and off the field, we've definitely grown. Our relationship and everything has grown, so I'm just thankful to be here." Sanders operated Stefanski's offense to the tune of a 24-10 victory in Las Vegas. He threw his first career touchdown pass, and he ended a 17-game losing streak held by the Browns quarterback, making their first ever NFL start. While Myles Garrett and the Cleveland defense preyed on a reeling Raiders offensive line. We're going to cut all of that and get down here. Sanders responds to social media posts made by Donald Trump, your president, following Sanders' win over the Raiders. President Donald Trump posted on social media, "Shedeur Sanders was great. Wins first game, career start as a pro for Cleveland. Great genes. I told you so." Sanders responded Wednesday in his news conference. "He's definitely been a supporter for a minute. So I'm just thankful for him, even taking time out of his day to be able to speak out and support." Okay. Let's do that again. He's definitely been, let me back up to Trump. Following Sanders' win over the Raiders, President Donald Trump posted on social media, "Shedeur Sanders was great. Wins first game, career start as a pro for Cleveland. Great genes. I told you so. Shedeur responds, he's definitely been a supporter for a minute. So I'm just thankful for him, even taking time out of his day to be able to speak out and support. I got a problem with that. I got a major problem with that. Here's my problem with that. So what Trump likes to do is pat people on the head and try to get them on his team, get them on his side, and get their fans on his side. He does that, and he's very good at it because he knows that most people are just fascinated by the position of President of the United States. Most people just love the idea of the President of the United States saying their name. They're just so enamored by that. They love the idea of taking a picture with the President of the United States. The President of the United States is a powerful position. It's a rewarding position. It's an historical position. But it is not oftentimes an honorable position. So the way I see it is no honor, no picture, no honor, no relationship. I'm cool with that. I do not care what you do for a living. I care about who you are, what type of person you are. That's what's most important to me. What type of person are you? Because there have been some people throughout our history who have been in some of the most prestigious positions, whether they were presidents, senators, governors, generals, admirals, poets, singers, rappers, athletes, philosophers, doctors. Look, fam, there have been great people throughout society, throughout time. But many of them have not been good people. Great does not equate to good, because you can be a great rapper, but a bad father. You can be a great poet, but a horrible husband or wife. You know, I don't care to meet Donald Trump. I view him as what's wrong with America. I view him like that. I think it would bring shame on my name. I don't see Donald Trump's position as better than mine. I don't look at what he does. I don't look at him and think of him as somebody who's superior to me. Because I'm looking at his character. And I've noticed that a lot of people don't care about character as much as they act like they do, or they say they do. They really don't care. As long as you can give them an opportunity. whether that's an opportunity to get some money, get some connections, or whatever. Just if they can get an opportunity, they'll forgive your character. It don't matter what type of person you are. They're going to rock with you if you can give them an opportunity. That's what I've noticed about people. And I don't care. I don't care for people like that, you know, because that birds of a feather flocks together. That's real. That's real. And you resemble who you assemble. For example, if you got friends who sell dope and you go to work every day and you have made your mind up, oh, I don't care, man, you know, those are my friends, man, and, you know, this is still my friends. So, you know, what they do, that's their business. You know, I ain't got nothing to do with it, you know, and I ain't going to judge them, but I ain't finna do what they do. You know, I got my gig. So time go by. Now you just got laid off from work. You trying to find new employment, and you looking. You follow protocol. You looking. Can't find anything. You just can't find anything. And now you got an eviction notice. You are about to get kicked out of your house tomorrow if you don't come up with that money. Well, your buddy over here been telling you, come on in, man, stop tripping. What you waiting on? Take this. Oh, and he'll give you some money up front too. Now, just like that, you got the rent paid for. You got food in the refrigerator. Shoot, man. You're going to do this here move right here. And now you finna go get you some clothes. Now you're going to take the missus out for dinner and stuff. You're going to do something you ain't did in a while. Woo! Next thing you know, you're a D-boy. Next thing you know, you're a jailbird. Or you're a corpse. You dig what I'm saying? That's how that go. So you resemble who you assemble. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Yeah. So I hope that Shedeur don't fall for this banana in the tailpipe and think just because Donald Trump is singing his praises that somehow he's a decent person. Because I'm sure he's had his thoughts about Trump in the past. I'm sure that Shedeur ain't really the type of person that Trump likes, because Trump don't really like strong black men. He don't like them type of men. So I'm surprised that Trump would even say what he said about Shedeur. He really don't like strong black men. He do like strong men who are black. I mean, he do like physically strong black men. He like physically strong black men, but he don't like mentally strong black men, right? He like physically strong black men, but he don't like mentally strong black men. He don't like black men that stand on business. He don't like them type of black men. He like the type of black men that step and fetch it, the type that bow down, the type that he can control. Yeah, the ones that know their place. He like those type of black men. All you got to do is look at the ones who support him. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is look at the ones who support him. That's right. That's right. East, who was that? Who was that? Who said that? Easter Wiley. Yeah, he don't like free thinkers, not black men who are free thinkers. Well, Trump don't like nobody who's a free thinker. You know, he don't like nobody who's a free thinker. He might like them until it's time for them to go against him, and then that's a problem. Yeah. So I hope that Shedeur don't fall for the okie doke and start kicking it with this dude and showing up at the White House and smiling and giggling with this dude. I hope he don't do that. And I hope he know that he don't have to do that in order to shine. Like, I wouldn't do it for financial reasons. You know, I don't really know how mentally strong he is, but we about to find out. We're about to find out, because I would rather lose the whole NFL. I'd rather lose it than to compromise my convictions and befriend that dude. I'd rather lose. I'd rather go get my money somewhere else. He'll be all right. He got Deion Sanders as a coach, as a dad. They got other ways to get money, get big money too. So he ain't got to have that. And I hope he don't fall for the okie doke. I hope he don't fall for that trick like Nikki did. You know, Trump was liking her music. So next thing you know, she Trump. Next thing you know, she's speaking on his behalf at a UN meeting. Yeah. A lot of them, they just want to be recognized, fam. Some of these people, they got everything going for themselves already. They already got shine. Some of them have respect. A lot of them would rather compromise their respect. They would rather people lose respect for them than to disown Trump, than to miss an opportunity to get a pat on the back, get a pat on the top of the head from Trump. That's why you see some of them running to the White House and stuff. They're ready to run to the White House and take a picture with Trump. When I was younger, I thought of the president of the United States as the greatest guy, the biggest and baddest dude, and cool, and that would be super cool president. You can be anything you want in the world, even the president of the United States. I used to think, wow, what a prestigious position. It is a prestigious position, but it's oftentimes held by dishonorable men. So if you are dishonorable, I don't give a damn what your position is. I don't care. I don't care like that. That's why there's a lot of people in the music industry that I don't rock with. You know, I do not just music industry, the industry period. There's a lot of people I just do not rock with. Now don't get business and personal confused. I'm talking about on a personal level. There's a lot of people I do not rock with because of their character. Yeah, Trump is trying to play Shedeur. He's trying to play Shedeur, and it looks like to me that so far it's working. So far it's working. And because the moment that Shedeur distances himself, then Trump gonna go in on him. I don't know, maybe Shedeur is trying to, maybe get on his good side because Trump got influence, and he knows that Trump can make the Cleveland Browns owner and the other owners bow down, right? He knows if he can put a good word in for them. And they such cowards that they'll do anything that he tell them to do. I never knew it was so many powerful coward men, cowards in the world. A lot of dudes who got money, they cowards. So they tough in the front office. They're tough when it comes to dealing with their staff and all that. They're the big bad wolf. But when it comes to dealing with other men, they're cowards. Some other men who have more power than them or perceived power, they're cowards. I just ain't never met a man who could make me a coward. I've never met that guy, and I've never seen that guy. I never seen him, never even heard of him. Going into the comments. What's up, JC King? Curvis Dixon, what it do? Marcus changed. Marcus, how you changed? Marcus, tell me how you changed. What you do? I want to change. I want to change for the better. Try to get better every day. What's up, T. Gallagher? What it do? Carry the kid. Carry the kid. You think Michael Jackson was the most famous black man? You think he was the most famous black man? I think it could have been, between Michael Jackson and Muhammad Ali. I think it's between Mike or Muhammad Ali. I am Aaliyah K. What up, Aaliyah K? Nah, I ain't doing no show about my music career. I think I'm gonna save that for the movie. I'll save that for the film, and I'll save some of it for the book in the film. Yeah, I don't want to put all those stories out there, but I am going to tell my side. I am going to tell my side, and I'm talking about really soon. Yep. What's up, Nina? What it do? Ruth MT. Anthony Brown, what's up? What's up? We are simulcasting on Facebook, fam. So y'all show some love, to the Facebook crew, Facebook members. Also, I do want to share something with y'all. Let's see how I can get there. Let me see. Okay, let me get this right quick. Get this link right quick. Let's see. Houston. So I got this new group, fam, called Houston Speaks with Willie D, right? And it's a group for Houstonians, where everything is everything Houston, all things Houston. So if you are from Houston, or you're really interested in Houston news, you can go and join the group, and I'll put a link in the description right now. Boom. That's the link to join. Let's see, let me make sure I got it in there. That's the link. I just put it in there. Yeah. That's the link to join the group. Yeah, so we got a lot of good information on that in the group, and the goal is to put resources. We got resources in there, we had resources in there for people to get food for Thanksgiving and beyond. Also, healthcare resources. We're posting information about jobs and all that type of stuff. So if you're from Houston, or you are interested in Houston politics and what's happening out here, even the hip hop culture, arts, even crime. Click on that link and join the group. Yeah. So I'm going to let's see what else is going on out here, fam. That we need to cover before I end this live. So the goal is to continue to hit y'all with the news 24 hours, you know, the news from the past 24 hours. So each day I'll be going live at 2 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central time. And we'll be discussing, you know, the latest news in the past 24 hours. So if y'all got some ideas also, some news story ideas, you can hit me up at mail@willied.com, mail@willied.com. And I'll take a look at it. And if I think it's got value, you know, enough value for people to want to check it out, you know, I'll cover it. So, but here's a story that I wanted to talk about before we go. Donald Trump claims he may completely eliminate federal income taxes in the coming years. Oh, family. Who believes that? Give me a thumbs up if you believe that Donald Trump is going to eliminate federal income taxes in the coming years. Thumbs up if you believe that. Thumbs down if you're calling cap. If you're calling cap, thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that Donald Trump is going to eliminate federal taxes in the coming years. Thumbs up. Thumbs down if you're calling cap. Donald Trump says he is considering a plan to substantially cut or completely eliminate the federal income tax. He made the comments while speaking about shifting government revenue towards tariffs instead, saying the change could almost completely replace income taxes in the future. He didn't give a timeline or confirm whether any official proposal is in motion, but his remarks immediately sparked debate online about whether such a move is realistic, legal, or even financially possible. So, fam, I ask you, what are your thoughts? Do you believe that Donald Trump is going to eliminate or substantially reduce federal income taxes? Give me a thumbs up if you believe he will. Thumbs down if you say, hell nah, he ain't gonna do nothing like that. He ain't got that kind of power. Okay, let's see what y'all said. Root down, Sylvester down, Silencer down, Roxanne down, Marcia Law down, Patricia down, Cynthia down, Unhinged Humanity down, Eric down, Connie down, Charlene down. And yeah, he tripping. He's absolutely tripping. Curtis down. Mac Mitchell down. Miss Knox down. Raynor down. All right, fam. We can stop. This is crazy, fam. Like, I heard this before, and I knew for a fact that was not going to happen. Just 1,148 days, 23 hours, 57 minutes, 30 seconds left, y'all. Stay strong. Oh, man, this is crazy. What I want to know is why you can't just start it right now? Why not just start it right now? If you're going to do it, start right now. Let me tell you something, fam. If he tried to pull such a thing, not only would he be no longer the president, he would be no longer. Hey, fam, those income taxes is the single greatest hustle the government has over the people. If they were to get rid of those income taxes, well, that other money got to come from somewhere. The hustle got to come from somewhere. There has to be another hustle. We're talking about billions and billions and billions, trillions. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he's going to be able to get rid of income taxes. No way possible. Now, what he could do is find out a way to continue to reduce income taxes for his friends, his rich friends. Oh, wait, my bad. He already did that. He already did it. He already did it. Let me tell y'all something, fam. To even say something like that, that lets you know that Donald Trump has no idea of how income taxes work. He has no idea. He has no idea. Y'all think Donald Trump was sent to destroy the United States? Y'all think he was like put in place, not elected, but selected to destroy the United States? What do y'all think? I'll tell you what I think. I think if federal income taxes go away, that property taxes are going to increase substantially. That money got to come from somewhere. That money got to come from somewhere. Oh, yeah. They're going to get that money. They're going to get that money if they got to go back. They got to go to every cemetery and dig up dead bodies and make them pay. They're going to get that money. So if he was able to get rid of federal income taxes, what I want to know is, where is the $800 billion annual budget for the military going to come from? Where's that money going to come from? That's what I want to know. It damn sure ain't coming from tariffs. So that's just that bill. That's just one bill. Where is the money gonna come from? Are they gonna just take everybody's Social Security money? You're gonna dig deeper into that? You know, he said this before, fam. He's been talking that talk before. He says things. What he's good at doing is selling hope. He better than Jesse Jackson at selling hope. He's really good at that. Donald Trump is that biological father who promises to pick his kids up on the weekend and don't even call to say he ain't coming. He got promises, man. Yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna take you to Astro World. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna buy you one of those big teddy bears. Then we're gonna go eat some ice cream. Yeah. Then I'm gonna take you over your cousin's house to play. And then I'm gonna take you shopping. You just be feeling good, like, yeah. Oh, daddy's gonna pick me up. 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 Daddy. All week long, you just be ready for daddy to come pick you up. And you be looking out the window, just looking. Bill ain't, damn, daddy ain't came yet. You calling him, he won't answer the phone. Trump the kind that not only will he not answer the phone, he'll block you. Trump will block his own kid. Like, all right, God damn, this kid is annoying. Block him and then be like at a hotel tricking, laid back. All right, baby, do that little wiggle thing that you like to do. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Man, yes, Trump is the biological dad that ain't coming to pick you up. He's gonna tell you, I'm gonna pick you up for the weekend, but he's not coming to pick you up he's not coming. He's not taking you to SeaWorld. He's not taking you to Disneyland. You're not going to get ice cream. He's not taking you to the movies, none of that. But he's going to promise you that stuff, and that's going to make you feel good. And what happens is he's so good at lying to you that when he doesn't show up, he's going to call you again the next week and sell you another dream. Because you want it to be true so badly, you're going to fall for that one too. Daddy's come pick me up. Daddy gonna come pick me up. Daddy. And your mama be like, the mama is all of us right now. Mama be like, mama get the phone, go in the room, shut the door. Mama get the phone, go in the room, shut the door. Mama be like, why do you continue to lie to her? Why are you lying? Yeah, no, you're fucking lying, and you just stop it. Stop lying to her. You know you're not coming. Stop telling her you're gonna come. And Trump's kind of be like, what else am I supposed to do? It's not you. You're not the one missing out. Why do you care? Why do you care so much? You're not the one missing out. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, but he's not substantially reducing. He's not going to substantially reduce taxes, and he's not going to get rid of federal taxes. They'll get rid of him before they allow him to do that. They get too much money like that. Yeah. See, that money that he take from everybody's checks, that money they get from the checks, from your checks, from everybody's checks, my checks too. That's what they use to keep the country rolling. That's what they use to keep the country rolling. How are they going to get rid of that? Yeah, that'll never happen. Now, I'll tell you one of the greatest scams that they got going is property taxes, where you never really own your home. It's like you own a home, but you really don't. All you own is the equity in the home, but you never really own the home. Because if you get behind on those taxes and they make a play to foreclose on your house, that house is gone if you can't come up with that money. If you don't come up with those back taxes, that house is gone. I don't care if you paid $500,000 for the house. If you owe $13,000 in back taxes and you can't pay those taxes, they're going to take that money. They're going to take that house. They are going to take that house from you. That's how that goes. So you never really own it. You never really own it. You know, it's saying that you own your house is almost like you saying, you know, that's my girlfriend. Well, that's your girlfriend until she says she's not your girlfriend. That's your boyfriend until he says he's not your boyfriend. You see? See how easy that was? That's taxes. I mean, you know, that's owning a house. You know, yeah, it's your house. But the moment that you don't pay those damn taxes, you mess around and get behind on those taxes, and it's possible because you could be living it up right now. Life could be very, very good for you right now, today. And you mess around and go through a rough patch. Let's say you lose your job or you have some type of debilitating sickness and, you know, some type of chronic illness. And, you know, those bills start piling up. Well, the house ain't gonna be the first thing you pay. The first thing that you're gonna pay for is food. That's gonna be the first thing you're gonna pay for. And you're gonna, well, actually, this right here, you pay for this before you pay for food these days. So you're gonna pay for that food, you're gonna pay for that phone, you're gonna pay to keep the lights on. And you're going to be trying to work toward getting the big payment. And sometimes that payment never comes. You never get to the money. And they put that house up for sale. I mean, they put it on foreclosure. And next thing you know, your house is gone. You had it paid off, but it's gone because you ran into a rough patch. That's why you got to set yourself up to where you always got some money coming in. Even when you retire, you got to set yourself up to always have money coming in. I mean, a good amount of money coming in, because you just never know how things are going to go. Ain't no guarantees whatsoever. Trump is not going to reduce taxes. He's not going to end federal tax payments. He's not going to do that. He don't even have the power to do that. If he tried to do that, well, you wouldn't have to worry about him anymore. You know how you said you ain't got to worry about it. You can vote for him this last time and you won't have to worry about it anymore? Well, you won't have to worry about him anymore. If he pulled that, so maybe some of y'all should be pulling for him to end federal income tax. But I'm just talking because that's not going to happen. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. Trump hasn't delivered on anything that he said he was going to deliver on. He hasn't even really delivered on immigration deportation. You know, all of what he's been doing has just been for show. he still hasn't, he still, by the time he get to the end of his presidency, he will not have deported more illegal immigrants than anybody. You know, this is all for show. If he deports anybody, the next president come in gonna let them right back in. Why are they constantly deporting immigrants, illegal immigrants? How are they constantly getting inside of these borders? How are they even getting over here? It's a hustle, fam. It's game. They're letting them in. They're letting them in, and then it's a revolving door. They're letting them in, and then they're rounding them up and sending them back. And they're just doing like this, just going in a circle. And they playing with our emotions. Got us thinking that something's going on. Got us thinking that we're making some type of gains. If they're deporting so many people, how come we don't see any relief in the job market? If they're deporting so many illegal immigrants, how come we don't see any relief in the job market? How come we don't see any relief in social services? How come the cost of social services not going down? Why is that? It's all a hustle, man. It's game. It's BS. It's all BS, fam. It's all BS. This is a play. Just saying something like that is just a play to get people to hang on, to hold on, you know, and tolerate him. He's going to have even greater promises going into the midterms. And he's going to try to do something that impresses the American people. Even if they have to manufacture it, they're going to put something out there. And Americans should be used to this by now, because even in my hometown right here in Houston, there is politicians who you only hear their name when they're running for office or when they're trying to be reelected. You only get stuff in the mail from them when they're trying to be reelected. You get the pamphlets, big old nice pamphlets. You can tell it costs money for them pamphlets. They get the big old flyers and stuff. They be about that big, right? They be trying to get you to vote. And they'll talk about what they're doing, and they'll have some type of community thing where they're giving out some food, or there is some type of job, what do you call those things? Job. It's some type of program where they're trying to get, where they say that they're trying to get people employed, right? They're trying to, you know, it's something along those lines. But it's really just a hustle. They already know that, yeah, we're going to do this job search thing, but out of all these hundreds of people that's coming up here to try to get a job, we already know it ain't but 10 jobs available. But it looks good that all these people came out here to get a job, and you put your name as an elected official. Your name is on the paperwork. Your name is on the flyer. Your picture's on the flyer. It makes it look like you're doing something, but you're really not doing anything. You're not giving the people anything tangible. But the fact that you say you're doing this and you gotta do this, you know, people give you some extra points. They got one politician here in particular that's really, really good at that. And this dude don't do nothing. I mean, he does nothing but get reelected. All he do is get reelected. He does nothing for his district. I mean, zero. But he gets reelected because he knows the right butts to kiss. He knows the right buttons to push. He knows the right people to brush shoulders with. So he gets away with it time and time again. And, you know, for some of us, man, all we got to do, you know, all the politicians got to do is take a picture with us and we going to vote for him. We get a picture. Shit, man, we voting. Politician, wait a minute, you gonna come to my grandmama barbecue? Oh yeah, I'm voting for you. You coming to my mama's golden anniversary, my mom and daddy golden anniversary? Oh yeah, he down to earth. She down to earth. She cool. Yeah, I'm voting for her. I'm voting for him. That's all they got to do. Because a lot of us, we're more concerned about optics than results. Yeah, we're concerned about optics. Yeah, Donald Trump is not going to lower taxes. He's not going to substantially reduce federal taxes. He definitely is not going to, well, let me back up. He's definitely not going to substantially reduce federal taxes. He's definitely not going to end federal taxes. I doubt if he even lowers federal taxes. America not even in shape right now to lower taxes. They can't do it if they wanted to do it because they're dependent on the people too much. They're dependent on the people to pay the bills. Yeah, they're dependent on the people to pay bills. So they can't lower those taxes even if they wanted to, which they don't want to. They only want to lower the taxes for their friends, them and their friends. But everybody else, we get stuck holding the bag. Let me explain something to you, fam. Let me tell you some of the things that your federal income tax covers. You ready? Major healthcare programs, including funding Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Insurance Program, otherwise known as CHIP. Social Security. It provides retirement benefits, disability payments, and benefits for survivors. And I told you about the National Defense and Security. Told you about that. Okay. But it also covers Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and Foreign Affairs. Interest on the national debt, the payments required on the money the government has borrowed over time. And then you have the safety net programs, which include aid programs for low and middle income families, such as unemployment insurance, food stamps, and housing. Now you tell me, where the hell is that money going to come from if you get rid of federal income tax? Where is that money coming from? Where in the hell is that money going to come from? That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining live. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.